I am so shook right now. Like I had to come back and I was gonna do it on my other page, but I don't know what the fuck happened. Like it just fucked up on me, and I don't really feel like messing with it too much. But yeah, it's crazy. Did you guys see the video for what's happening in North Carolina from the wife? I'm like I just spent like a whole bunch of like moments just kind of like trying to ingest that right now. Like I'm sitting there like I don't know whether to cry or to scream or get angry. And then I was reading up about these five Latino kids who got shot, and most of them got shot in California, and it doesn't surprise me that at all. Um, but it just like it triggered me because like it because we have this violence going on, and on top of that, just knowing what autumn equinox energy that's in play right now is not supposed to be anything bad. However, this past retrograde, we were supposed to be learning how to purge, how to get rid of the things that no longer suits us. And sometimes the universe makes, pushes things up to the top, like, okay, you have a stupid abusive boyfriend or a person who's cheating on you or whatever, and it brings it into light. Like, hi, you need to deal with this right now. That's what this energy is doing right now. They're doing that right now. They're saying, okay, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to work on right now. And so, this past, I haven't even been able to do like readings or a video or anything this past few days just because I've been really, really tired. I've just been like, and I just kind of had to meditate and start grounding and stuff. But today, for some reason, I got like a surge of energy, especially after watching what happened in North Carolina. Like that really fucking lit a fire under my ass. Like, I don't know if you, I mean, if you know me, I might have said this, in casual, but when I was about 19 years old, I was coming home from work one day or one evening. I was married at the time, and he was away in the military. And I had a tendency to, go to friend's house, and actually, my friend was watching my son. And I went to go pick him up after working, semi working, whatever it is. Um, so normally, what I would do is I'd pick him up from Poway and come down through the 805 to get to Imperial Beach because it was a lot easier to get to. It took less time, and then like I live towards the back anyway, so it was just an easier way. And if you know me and my driving, I like my shortcuts. So here I am doing my shortcut, and and then I get stopped by the cops, and they told me to come out. And so I got out the car. My son was in the back seat, or he was in the front seat because that was the only one that had the seatbelts. And um, they started talking to me. They asked me for my registration and all this other stuff, and I was like, "Well, why did you stop me?" And he's just like, "Well, it looks like you weren't going over the speed limit." And I was just like, I speed. So I was like, "Oh, well, I'm trying to get home. My son, I need to get my son home in bed." And the officer was just like, "Well, what are you doing out here so late?" And I was like, "Oh, I just got off of work, and I went to go pick up my son from the babysitter." He's like, "I don't know no babysitter, no daycare that's open this late." And I was just like, "Well, I had my friend take care of him, and then he's fine." "Well, it sounds very suspicious that you'd be out after 2 in the morning picking up your son from the babysitter." Like, he was really condescending and being an asshole. And so he kind of just went on about it, and had me kind of like, he made mention about what I was wearing, and I was wearing shorts and a tank top. It was fucking hot. It was like August or some shit like that. Like, I can't even remember. And it's not like the beach. Like, in California, you're by the beach. It doesn't feel that hot, but I wasn't by the beach. I was like inland, and it's fucking hot. It's like 100 degrees. So, so I'm there, and he's like, well, I need you to put your hands on top of your car. And I'm like, why the fuck are you searching me? Like, I don't have anything. I was just, I was just being stopped for speeding. Like, don't you need to just give me a ticket or something? And I don't know, he was just being real asshole. Like, and I even asked him, I was like, well, aren't you supposed to have like a female officer here? Like, what's going on? And he's just like, well, I just don't trust the fact that you're out here wearing shorts and a tank top. And, it's after 2 in the morning, 2:30 in the morning, and you're picking up your son. I just, I have suspicions that you might be under the influence. I'm like, I have a drink. I didn't drink. I haven't done anything. Like, I just got off of work, and I'm really kind of fighting myself from really going off and getting angry. And, uh, and I just remember, like, knowing, like, I had my spidey, like, my spidey sense was like telling me, shut the fuck up, don't do anything drastic, because this could end up bad, and you have your son in the car. So he goes and he starts searching me, and he puts his hands down, and he puts his hands down, like, towards my pants, and he's feeling around the shorts. And then he goes down on my legs. And then when he goes right back up, he kind of puts his finger kind of like on my ass cheek. Like, I mean, I it's not kind of, like, he was doing that. Like, he went and did that. And like, I remember just kind of like freezing up. Like, I couldn't, like, I'm like, is this happening? Am I watching a fucking movie? Like, are you serious? And I just, like, I remember kind of shaking and just stopping, and I gasped, and he's, then he puts his, whatever, and I'm just like, I can't say anything, because if I say anything, he's gonna make a big deal about it, and he's probably gonna arrest me, or worse, and my son's in the car. Like, I can't do anything, so I'm like kind of like gasping, and I don't say anything, and I was just like, officer, can I just go home, please? I'm really sorry. I'm not gonna, I'm not doing anything, I promise. I'm just trying to get home. I just want to get my son home. And I remember, like, being almost on the verge of tears, like, can I just go home, please? And then he's just like, well, I need to double check something. And so he goes over to the other side, and he shines a light on my son, who's in the car carrier's car seat. And he was just a baby. He was like, I don't know, like 6 months or something. And he, I remember he shining the light on him, and my son kind of like, like babies do. And he was being woken up, and I was like, officer, please, can you not wake up my child, please? Like, I was getting upset at that point. I was just like, it's hard for him to go to sleep. I said, I just want him to hurry up and get home. And he was like, the whole time he just kind of had this, like, really, like, ugh. And it was just like, I don't know, like, that was CHP. That was California. That was the California Highway Patrol. And it just, like, that was like in the 90s. Like, that was like in the mid 90s. Like, you know? And so when I see this shit happening right now, I'm just like, I'm kind of, I mean, I'm obviously triggered from the situation. It puts me in an angry, frustrated mood because I'm like, why is this shit happening, you know? Why is this shit happening? Why is it still happening? You know, I don't know if it was because I'm Mexican, or if it's because, you know, and I've told people before, that wasn't the first time that I got pulled over in California. As a matter of fact, I never felt any type of racism until I moved to San Diego. Like, I don't know what it is. I have been accused of being a nanny. I have been accused of being a gardener. I have been accused of, like, being a maid or inquiring about my services. I remember once, even somebody even kind of like saying, making a compliment about my kid, and saying, oh, their family must love you, you take care of that child so well. And I'm like, this is my fucking child. Like, why would you, you know, why would you assume that I'm the nanny because, you know, I'm fucking brown or what? And but that's what it was. It was that, because there were times where I would get pulled over because I drove, and I you know, like, my car wasn't the best, but it was like a classic car. Like, I drove around in a 1964 Ford Galaxy. And I remember even getting pulled over about my brights being on. I'm like, no, I know shit about cars. Like, I fixed up this car. And so he's like, oh, well, really? Well, how do you know that your brights aren't on? Well, because if you know anything about vintage cars, and you know during the 60s with Ford Galaxies that the high beam lights are actually a little button right by the fucking gas, on the ground, on the floor, not right here by where the steering wheel is, like normally, but right over here on the ground. And he was just like, oh, so you're being a smartass, right? And I'm just like, no, dude, I don't understand why you're pulling me over, because my fucking beams are on. Like, and so when I see this shit, it's not anything new. It's not, unfortunately. It's not anything new. This shit has been happening for a long ass time. Like, the only thing is that now we're starting to see it because we have cameras, we have phones, we have ways of bringing this out now, and bringing it into light. So now it's like, now people are like, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening. It's like, no, this shit has been happening for like a really long time. Like, I'm pretty sure even, you know, family members of grandparents probably have, you know, people have been dealing with this shit for a long time. So long as there's been racism is how long they've been fucking pulling over people for no fucking good reason. Like, this isn't brand new. The only thing is new is that we have fucking cameras to record it and upload them and shit, you know? So when I see this, I'm just kind of like reminded, especially with what, you know, this past Mercury retrograde has been like. And it's been kind of chill, but I feel like it was mainly because we really, really, really needed to reflect on what was going on in the world, and within ourselves. Like, you know, for me, it really put me into perspective on what I wanted to do in my life. And so I did a lot of clearing. I did a lot of meditation this past retrograde. I got involved with who I was, but I've known people who have broken up with people, who have moved out, who have, you know, who have quit their jobs, and yes, we need compassion in this world. Yes, Sam. Sorry, I'm just looking at that right now. But we have, I've been noticing these things, and I'm just like, you know, whatever's coming up, we're doing a lot of this clearing to get rid of all the bullshit out. And this could be it. Like, this could be, you know, while we're kind of doing our own internal shit, like our own internal cleansing, who's to say that the world's not doing that right now? Society, the norms are not doing that right now, where people are just going, wait a minute, this is fucked up. Like, okay, we kind of believed you at first when we thought that these, like, criminals were possibly had guns. But now we're seeing more and more innocent people, people who are not armed. And we're going, wait a minute. Why do they all of a sudden have PCP in their car and they have 4 kids? Or why are they all of a sudden, bad because they're sitting in the car reading a fucking book? Like, this is wrong. This is wrong. People are really going, this is fucking wrong. And the rest of us are going, well, no shit. Like, this has been wrong for a long ass time. So it's a very interesting time that we're kind of living in right now. And rather than me trying to really kind of focus on the anger part of it, in the angry parts of it where I'm angry and because there's, I feel the same way. I feel like, fuck the police, fuck them. Fuck all what's going on in North Carolina. Good. That's what they fucking deserve. That's part of me that's saying that. Part of me is like, the chingona, I guess, in me is like, fuck them. Because in some ways I'm feeling the retribution for the bad shit that happened to me. Or the bad things that happen to everybody, the bad things that when you're growing up. I grew up in like a lot of places in San Antonio. So, and then I grew up, and then I lived in the north side of Houston, which was like where we lived there was parts where it was like super bad, like, like the convenience store right across the street from where I lived in Houston, off Cross Chambers, was always getting knocked, like every Friday it seemed like, and those types of neighborhoods, while they're scary, a lot of times there's a lot of hopelessness because the cops ain't gonna do shit. You're gonna call them and they're not gonna go after the criminals, they're gonna go after you. They're gonna put their guns up in the and say, what are you doing? And it went more than just us being fucking kids, walking around at night and shit, or walking to school and where are you guys going? It was more than that. Like, we knew that. We were like 16 and we fucking knew that. And I remember when the riots happened, I was living in Houston and I was a freshman in high school. And I remember when the riots happened, and it was pretty crazy. I remember, like, everybody was on edge. Like, there was something in the air that made everybody just real kind of uneasy. Like, everybody was kind of just waiting to see what somebody was going to happen. And I remember hearing rumors about riots possibly happening in Houston. And people kind of organizing, like, well, if shit goes down, we're going here. And if shit goes down, we're going here. And I remember going, if shit goes down, I'm going in my room. I'm going in my house. I'm going to lock my fucking doors. I got iron gates. Fuck all of y'all. Fuck the police, down with the yuppies and whatever. But I'm going to be here in my area because I know I'm going to be safe. I'm a minority and I'm a woman and I'm more likely a fucking target. And it was funny because I remember Booker T. Washington, who was like this wrestler, and he was up on the TV on the 24-hour station, and he was like in tears. He was all crying. He's like, you guys don't go into riots, don't hurt each other, like, we all have to be unified, and really meaning it. Like, he was scared. Like, I feel like he was super scared. And I remember he wasn't at Barbara Jordan, like, he was, I think, at the Booker T. Washington High School, which is like probably the scariest high school to go to in Houston. And, but I remember that, like, and people were afraid. People were afraid that all these, like, protests and these riots were going to go out everywhere. I remember that. And I remember watching the riots on TV and being extremely afraid that shit was going to happen here. I remember, oh my God, the fucking end of the world's happening. Here we go. This is the time that people get tired of it and fed up. And, like, yes, it's very rightfully so. Very rightfully so. Like, I have no sympathy for these assholes. Because, there was something that happened like that in history too. It was called the French Revolution. The French Revolution happened, and 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 then people got tired of being fucking poor, so they tore down their fucking government. They're just like, fuck you. I'm not gonna be poor anymore. I don't want to have, to choose whether or not to like eat or not, like, or how to take care of my kids. And meanwhile, you're over here having these lavish parties and everything's hunky. No, no, no. Right now, we're seeing what that's with, like, history is repeating itself. It's the universe bringing that shit up so that we can finally purge it. We will not be able to ascend. We will not be able to progress. We will not be able to evolve as a species until we get rid of this fucking basic, primordial bullshit where we pay attention to skin color and we pay attention to gender and we pay attention to all this other bullshit. There's no fucking way we can evolve from from the species that we are right now, the primate fucking species that we are right now, into something better. There is no fucking way that we can do that if we have racism, if we have homophobia, if we have sexism, if we have xenophobia. If we have these things, we cannot be any smarter than this. I'm sorry, we fucking peaked. We've got fucking Trump, whatever, as part of a president, and fuck. Like, I feel like I'm watching Idiocracy. Like, shit. Like, are you serious? Was this really prophetic? Like, what the fuck? Oh my god. So I'm sorry. Like, I feel a little better because I feel like I purged a lot of, like, the crap and stuff, and I can move on from this. Like, what happened to me in California, for a long time, I couldn't even be around police officers. If I saw a police officer, I would fucking scurry away or hide away or just be like, fucking like every other, buddy was like, ooh la hooda, the fucking police is here. Great. And I had a fear for them. I worked through that by becoming a paralegal and working in the criminal defense part of as a paralegal, and that really helped me a lot. So I feel like, and then I forgave the officer who did that to me, because that wasn't gonna help me in any way to be that angry and to be that fucking triggered by what happened. I can't unmake it happen. So I just had to forgive it, and I had to forgive myself, because I did blame myself for a long time. I remember going, well, I should have fucking take I-5. I should have went I-5 south. Like, I should have picked up, my son earlier. I shouldn't have sat and talked to this person after work, right after that. Or I should have worn something else. I should have, like, put on fucking cover-ups or something, or any of that bullshit. You blame yourself constantly. And I had to really kind of face those demons and say that they weren't going to hurt me anymore, that I was safe. And I had to reassure myself that. And I had to forgive them, because if I didn't, then I was going to still continue to hold in that rage and that anger. As much likely as I wish that we could do something like that right now, where we could just kind of like move on from this issue. We can't. We have to face this issue. Unfortunately, this is the type of issue that we're going to have to face as a society. Especially if we want to move on, especially if we want to ascend, especially if we want to evolve, we're not going to get any smarter than this unless we get rid of it. And I feel like, now's the time that's going to happen. Like, okay, you've had all this time, since the time of slavery, since the time of the 50s, where we had all this, segregation and shit. Between that time, we've had all this time to fix this shit, and yet you still haven't gotten it fixed. So guess what? Here it is, 2014, 2016, 2015, whatever. And now you're going to have to deal with it. So now you're going to have a lot of angry people on your hands. that's going to happen. It's going to continue to get worse until the issue is actually dealt with. And somebody, you know, hopefully we could get it done peacefully, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's happening. It seems like people are bullshitting. I saw the video on like regular TV, and immediately right after they played the video, they showed the fact that the guy got arrested like in 2011 for aggravated assault. It's like, but that's shit that happened in 2011. This is 2016, and he was not armed. And he was just reading a book, and his wife kept saying, he doesn't have anything, he doesn't have anything, he doesn't have anything. Please don't shoot him. Please don't shoot him. Over and over and over and over again. And the police didn't listen. And she kept telling him he has a TDI, a traumatic, or TBI, I believe, traumatic brain injury. TBI, over and over and over again. I'm just like, Jesus. Somebody should have fucking said something. Hey, cuff the dude. You know, tase him. Something. Don't shoot him. Don't kill him. Okay. Alright, that was done. Anyway. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to give readings. I brought my cards out. I got like 4 decks with me. I'll show you. So I have my traditional Rider-Waite. These are quick and easy ones. These are like one of the first ones that I used to learn. So I have these cards. And then I have these really amazing zombie cards right here. The Zombie Tarot. And these were gifted to me by my drag mama. And these are really cool. And I also have the Goddess Guidance Oracle cards. And these are really cool. They're full of goddess energy. And then these are my daily guidance from Angels Oracle cards. And I love these because they're pretty fucking spot on. Like, they are really good. So anyway, I'm doing free readings because I feel like I need to help. I feel like I need to be out there helping in some fucking way that I know how to, and make sense of all of this. Like, do you guys have questions? Like what? If you want to know what's going on, like, so far we're in this autumn equinox right now too. You like an okay, James likes an angel one. Okay, so I'm gonna pick 3 cards after I drink this drink. Excuse me. It's a big red kind of day. All right, Jameis, how many times do you want me to shuffle? It's not giving me. How many times do you want me to shuffle? Okay, I'm just gonna shuffle. Three times. Okay. That's funny because that's exactly the amount of times that I did it. Okay. Okay, I'm only going to do 3 cards because, just because they're shorter and it's easier for me to interpret. So your first card is Innocence. Beloved one, everyone is guiltless in truth, as no one can alter God's handiwork of perfection. Give us your feelings of heaviness, so we can lighten your load. Give us any guilt, anger, or blame that may shroud your loving outlook. Enjoy the peace within your heart once more. That's what it looks like. Okay, so the next one is Creative Project. Your soul longs to express itself in creative ways. We're guiding you to infuse artistry and creativity into your life. Creative expression makes you feel alive and excited and reignites passion toward life. And so the last one is Daydream. You will more easily hear and receive our messages if you daydream regularly. Relax and open your mind to receive without directing your thoughts. Just notice any feelings, visions, or ideas as if you're watching a movie. This is a seat of activity. Okay, I know I read those really. That's a daydream one. So I know I read these really fast, but only because I wanted to see them and then actually interpret them. And so I've been getting this a lot with some of my clients about like creative. Jameis, you've been like awakening like a lot. You've been coming a lot more spiritual, and I'm noticing, you know, you're it looks like what the innocence card is like saying to me is that, you know, you're almost like unsure of what's happening within yourself. So you've been questioning a lot of it. And they're saying that, you know, they're saying not to do that because you don't have anything to worry about. You can give your everything to them. You know, you I feel like you've been needing to purge a lot of stuff too. So you have still a chance because we have 927, which is the September, the last portal, 999 portal. And then you have the dark energies of the September 30th, which is really good for setting out intentions. And so so we're getting with that. And then the creative project will obviously, so what I'm getting is that you've been wanting to do a lot of different creative projects, but you've either been really busy or like really, you know, kind of just like I'm getting just a lot of tiredness. Like you're just almost like you're listless, like you don't really feel like you have energy or even uninspired. And it's telling you that the creative expression really kind of brings out your part of your purpose of who you are, how you like to express yourself. So, yeah, that's what I'm getting from that. Like you know, just continue to plan on it. Just because you're not doing the things that you want to do, the creative projects you would like to be doing at this moment, don't worry. And it's got nothing to do with, it's got nothing to do with you. It's actually got something to do with the Mercury retrograde. For a lot of us, it was like a big halt, like stop and think about, you know, think about stuff, reflect. That's what you do on a retrograde. You reflect. You reflect, you rejuvenate, renew. When that's what you were doing, you were being forced to do it, but that's what you were doing. So I feel like a lot of that was happening. But it's telling you, you know, don't give up. Continue working on those creative projects. That's what you were supposed to be doing. And then the daydream part is just them telling you that they're kind of inspiring you already. They're inspiring you in your dreams. They're inspiring you with ideas. They just want you to start listening, writing them down, and really focusing on that, because I feel like you've been getting them already, and they kind of just been popping in your head, or if they maybe not even in so much in a dream, but yeah, that's what's been going on for you. So this retrograde should lift a lot of that up, that insecurity up. And you probably have already noticed it, that it feels a little bit different. It feels a little bit better, as opposed to before where you're feeling like sick or whatever, or uninspired mainly. So yeah, so that's what this is all about. That's what you're getting. Does that make sense? Does it resonate with you? Put those up. Jimmy says, beautiful and perfect. Yes. Okay, good. Good. Do you have any questions? I really like these, guys. I haven't looked at these in a while, so I'm pulling them out. Very much. Okay. Very much. It resonates with you. That's good. That's good. I like hearing that because, yeah. So anyway, check out these, like, I don't really get to play with these because a lot of people are scared of them. I don't know why. They're kind of scary. So, like, look at this Judgment card. Doesn't it look here? No, it's been a long week. I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry it's been a long week. But you know what? The Mercury retrograde is gone. Like, Mercury's going into direct. You might feel a little bit more crap for a little bit more longer. But after this, probably this next week that's coming up, everything's going to go smoothly. But check this out. Look at this Judgment card. Boom, boom, boom. It's got the zombies and the zombie apocalypse happening. Not scary right there? I know. It's really cool. Like, these are really cool. I'll show them. If you want a reading, I'll do a 3-card reading. Just tell me which ones you have, which cards that you want me to use, and that was pretty good. Reflection of emotions I've been having. Good, yay! So, yeah, I'm doing 3-card readings because I'm restless. I have to work tomorrow, and I need to go to sleep pretty soon, but I'm restless. Let's see. Ooh, look at this one. This is the 4 of Wands. Look at that. I don't know if you can see it, if that focuses it. It doesn't focus. It's like zombies, and they're like eating in this thing. It's so crazy. It's like really cool, but look at this. Seven of Cups. Look at this one. Isn't that cool? It's really cool art. I haven't really used these on. I've only used them once on somebody, but mostly people are creeped out about it. I don't know why. They're really cool looking. So maybe one day, maybe somebody will want like a 3-card reading with these, and I'll get to use them. But they're really fun. I might use these for like Halloween or something just because they're really cool. Look at this. Look at this one right here. This is 7 of Wands right there. Isn't that scary? And yeah, look at the. Ooh, the High Priestess is bad. She's a bad bitch. Look at that. She's like, bitch, I run the world. I run the dead. You have Raven cards. Hi, Sandra. How are you? I have Raven cards. These I have. So these are I'm just showing the ones that I have. And I have these Zombie Tarot. And I have these, my quick and easy ones, the ones that I learned from. And I have my angel cards. And then I have my goddess cards. I just got this one. This one's so good. Like, this one's got some really good, this one's like all goddess, divine goddess energy. Like, some of these women, these pictures are great. Like, look at Sekhmet right here. Look at Sekhmet right there. She's a bad bitch, isn't she? She is a bad bitch. Aren't these everything though? They're really good, and it's like all like the goddesses from different cultures and stuff, and they're really cool. Like, I'm trying to find the yes, I like the gold on them too. That's really cool. But it sucks because when you shuffle them, they like shiver away because that's what's going on in my angel cards. Let's see, where is it? Which one's my favorite one? Has to be the Aztec one. This one, Ixchel, the medicine woman. Like, this one came out when I got it, and it was just like, this was like, oh my god, like, you know. Sorry, I'm like getting hot over here, so I don't know if you can see me, but look. So yeah, this one Ixchel, and she's a medicine woman. This one popped out when I started shuffling the cards. She popped out, and I was like, "This one is my goddess right here. This one's my Dee. You can use some good news in the cards, Tom. All right. Which ones do you want? Do you want the goddess ones, the zombie ones, the angel cards, or just the regular tarot? You gotta make it quick too, because I think I'm running out of juice. Let me see if I can try to plug in. Ooh, angels. Okay. How many times do you want me to shuffle the cards? I know. Maybe next year. So I got my angel cards. I'll bring it out. How many times do you want me to shuffle? Twice. Okay. Okay. So we got 3 cards I'm doing. Okay, it says, your first card, it says, to have confidence. Moving forward does not necessarily require you to have confidence in yourself. Confidence in God is enough, along with knowing that God works through you and with you in all ways. Lean upon us for your confidence. So what I'm getting so far is that there's been kind of like a lack of confidence recently. Again, probably with the Mercury retrograde. But, yeah. So that's the first card I'm going to sing. Oh, thank you for sending your love to my kids. And then the next card is the assertiveness. This situation can be healed gently and with love as you request it, yet there's also a need for your strength and truthfulness with the other people involved. We will stand right behind you as you speak your truth, giving you your strength and guiding your words. So there's that. That's the other one. And then there's a change in direction. The changes you are experiencing are divinely directed by your newborn willingness to open your heart to love and our guidance. You are protected now and in the future, so follow your path to the happy outcomes you desire. So, okay, so what I'm getting at, Tom, is that you've been recently feeling. So what these cards are saying is that you're about to change in some direction. You've got something that's going to be changed in a different direction. Something that you probably, a big change that you're going to go through. And you probably have questioned it too. Maybe it's I'm thinking it's an unexpected change. But what they're saying is that this is supposed to happen. You're kind of being divinely guided into this direction. And so they want you to do is they want you to have confidence, and they want you to be assertive. Okay, so with this new thing that's happening, that these are going to be your strongest. These are going to be your strongest points, is having confidence and being assertive, whatever it is. And I feel like that's something. I mean, I definitely, just knowing you as a person, I know that those are probably 2 of your greatest things that you have. You're very professional, and you are assertive when you need to be. And I feel like you don't have anything to worry about with this new thing, because as long as you stick to your confidence and your assertiveness, you should be fine. But that they're kind of reminding you to be assertive and to have confidence. Okay. I hope that resonates. I hope that made sense. Okay, and Sandra. All right. Sandra says, she wants a 1 card. New stuff for Martha. Nice. I can't wait to see the Martha. Okay. So you're welcome, Tom. So Sandra said, one card, please. My choice. All right. I'm feeling like she needs the goddess cards. Love you too, Tom. Okay, Sandra. This is one. Ah. Wow. Okay. Okay, so my goddess cards, I picked out Kali for you, which is the endings and the beginnings. And she says, the old must be released so that the new can enter. So my prescription to you, Sandra, is that you've got the upcoming 999 portal. I believe you know what you need to purge. And that's at least what I'm feeling. Is like, I feel like you definitely need to purge a lot of stuff this next gateway, and this is definitely going to help you to the beginnings that will be coming after the fact. Like after, I feel like after, like during, okay, so I feel like a lot of the shift is going to start feeling better after October 1st, because October 1st is 1001. And that means beginnings. In numerology, the 1001 is usually a sign of beginnings. So I think that's why I'm getting Kali for you. Is you've got endings, and it's gonna help prepare you for the new beginnings. And I feel like you, especially Sandra, have been waiting for some beginnings, and this is definitely. I feel like this is your sign from Kali. Does that make sense? Okay. Alrighty, those were good. Okay, and I believe Johnny wanted one. Which one do you want? Because I have goddess cards, I have angel cards, I have zombie cards, I have regular tarot. So it's up to you. And my Hamsa. Oh, great! That's so great. Hi, Hawk. How are you? How are the babies? Mahalo nui. Aw. Any I pick. Well, for you, I think I'm going to pick the zombies. Okay. Because I've been wanting to use these. I know best. Okay. How many cards do you want? God, I'm so bad at shuffling. Ah, you. So one card popped out. Okay. So we got 3 cards. So we got a card that jumped out, which is the 6 of Wands. And the Wheel of Fortune. This is a cool card. And then we have the Queen of Cups in reverse. This is what it normally looks like. Okay, so immediately I think this one, the 6 of Wands that I got, that popped out, is telling me, like, which is the 6 of Wands, and what I'm getting at is you really, really, really need... Gosh, I'm trying to word this in the right way. Um, you need to let go. You need to let go of something. Um, so there's something that you need to let go of. And in sense, once that is let go, you're going to see a lot of different changes that happen for the better, which is why I see the Wheel of Fortune. And I feel like the Queen of Cups with you in reverse is you in reverse, because to me, when I see the Queen of Cups, I see somebody who kind of like thinks with their emotions and kind of is kind of led around in that. Cups are usually about emotions. And if you look at the card, she's kind of like casually sitting down eating this brain, which is, it's just the art. But I feel like with it being in reverse, I feel like you kind of put your emotions to the side as well, and this will help kind of this comes after the fortune, the Wheel of Fortune. So what I'm getting is that you need to let go of something that's going to help you in the future acquire better fortune, like whatever is going to happen after the fact. Like what I'm getting is like one door opens, so one door closes, the other one opens. Okay, that's what I'm seeing as far as that is concerned. That you need to stop and purge this part, because it's going to open the door to something else. And I feel like with something, it's not going to be something that's like, okay, I'm trying, I'm like, feel like I'm getting so much like instruction right now. So this will definitely prepare you, because I feel like you've been going through a lot of emotional turmoil, and this is going to kind of turn it around for you to where you'll feel like you've got a hold of things much more logically, if that makes any sense. So I don't know, does that make any sense to you about that? Like, I feel like it has something to do with a person that you need to let go of. But that it's going to open the door to something much, much more better. And then I feel like you won't feel like you're always wearing your heart on your sleeve. Does it make sense? That's kind of, it's what I'm getting. So, but man, aren't these cards awesome? Like, gosh. Look at this one right here. Look at that one. So, look at that. I'm a zombie lover. Look at me. These are cool. I know there was some that was like so cool to look at. Oh shit. Look at the Knight of Swords. Look at the Knight of Swords right here. Look at him. Isn't he cool? He's like, I'm a soldier. The devil's kind of lame. Like, that's the only thing I don't like about this deck, is this deck is like the devil, and it's basically like a cigarette machine with a devil picture on it. It's like, how lame is that? Like, they couldn't make it cooler. He made them cigarettes. This one's kind of creepy too. Like, the King of Cups right here. Isn't that cool? It's like very, like, what's that movie? Ghost Ship or something. Oh, this one's cool. I like this one a lot. Queen of Hazards. Oh, this one. This one's like probably my favorite one right here. It's called The World. And it's like the world burning. And you've got somebody like in their little fallout shelter and they're like kissing each other because it's their last embrace for whatever. Isn't that cool? Like, hold me one more time. I know. I like the 50s art bill. This one, this one that I have, Angel, is the Zombie Tarot. They're high caliber, or they're what is it? They're by Stacy Graham Headcase Design, and they're really cool. But I also have the Goddess Guidance Oracle, and I use these daily guidance angel cards from Doreen Virtue. I'm really into her stuff lately. Like, I like them a lot. Just really beautiful art. They seem to go very well. Like I pray over them. I bless them, and they just work like that. Some of the other cards, like the zombie cards, is like hit or miss sometimes. I like it, but like it depends, and like I'm bringing them out only because Halloween's coming up and we've got the veil thinning out, and so I figure they would be really good for that. And I was actually thinking about kind of hosting a workshop. Oh, you have them too. Awesome. I was thinking about hosting a workshop on how to honor your ancestors, making an altar, and even just using a card or a little bit of divination to speak to them or to speak with them in your dreams, and more or less like to your ancestors, or even the people that you've recently passed, because you can talk to them at that time. The veil is thin. Um, but no, nothing crazy. I'm not gonna be summoning, Captain Howdy or anything like that. I don't fuck with that shit. I get a more accurate reading with my angels, cards, and rune. See, I like the angel cards. Like, I don't know what it is. They're really accurate. What were you saying about the new portal or the first or something? Okay, so just a reminder for Johnny. Um, so we've got on September. So right now we're still in the autumn equinox energy. So it's still kind of like this weird kind of energy that's like kind of cleansing. It's like preparation, I feel like, for the 999 portal. So you got September 27th, which equals to be 999. Um, well, it's 9 and then 9 and then 16, 9. So that is a good time to purge a lot of bad shit that you've been going through. Even just like I'm thinking, even on the 27th, what I might do is I might do a toasting of grievances. I'm gonna be burning like old bills and shit. Or old debts. Just be burning them. Like, I don't want these anymore. But it's a good time to like release them out into the to the universe and say, I don't want these anymore. These won't have any power over me. I give them up. I give them up to the universe. I forgive and forget. Blah blah blah. Here you go. And then on the first, which is 1001 in numerology, it also in angel numbers too. It means beginnings. So I feel like once we hit October 1st, we're going to start seeing a lot more new beginnings. People getting new jobs, new relationships, new situations, even people who are moving constantly. Like, I've known people who are recently moved to like out of state. And I feel like a lot of that is going to go into fruition after the first. We had a lot of crazy retrograde energy and like 999 portal energy. And this has been a really like special month for that, for getting rid of shit. Like, and I feel like that in itself means something, because if we're getting rid of all of this like bad shit, this purging shit, it's making room for something better. It's making room for something. Sorry, my asthma's acting up. Yes, Angel, that would be really cool to have a cleansing party in Virgin. Yes, I agree. I think that would be really cool. I'm willing to host it. I'm willing to go anywhere. Like this, let's do it. Yes, I want to get rid of lots of shit. Um, but it's been a special month. So for me personally, how it's affected me is for the past couple of years, I've been dealing with some crazy shit. Like, boom, 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 boom. Even like all the way up to when I broke my ankle. Like when I broke my ankle, it was so fucking it was so random. Like I went to go sit in chairs. Like I went to go sit in a chair and it moved funny, and then I ended up falling and breaking my damn ankle. And like a month before that, I totaled my car. Like somebody ran a light and fucking, I totaled my car. It sucked. And and then like before that was just, bullshit after bullshit after bullshit after bullshit. My daughter, my kids, and my health and all of the shit that in between. And it was just like boom, 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 boom. And I read into that and found out that I was going through the dark night of the soul. And I was like, holy shit. So then also recently, ironically, during one of my shows, I had a kundalini, and I was like, oh my god. It was crazy. Like, it was the craziest feeling in the world. It literally felt like I was high. And like, I'm like thinking to myself, and I've experimented when I was a kid, like, oh my god, like this, I've never tripped out like that. Like, I wasn't seeing anything, but it was just like, I was just like overwhelmed with the sense of fucking knowing. Like, almost like I had been downloaded all the fucking, like, secrets of the universe, and I was feeling them. It was just like the craziest feeling. And in the middle of my show too. Angel can relate. Oh my god, I know. Like, it's been crazy. It's been crazy energies. Even the past couple of days, I was like, oh, I'm gonna do like another reading. I'm gonna do a tarot. I'm gonna do a blessing. I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. And I ended up sleeping the past few days, just fucking tired. Put some meditation music on, and I was ready to go to bed. But today I'm like fucking full of energy. I don't know. And I gotta go wake up tomorrow to go to work because I have mandatory fucking overtime right now. Yeah. So, I don't know. I might stay on for a few minutes longer, but I think I might go to bed too. Unless anybody who has another question. And I could do something really quick. But other than that, I think that's all I've got going on. Thank you guys for like being on here, because I felt like I was hanging out with everybody even though I was online, and I really needed to get a lot out. I felt like I purged a lot of shit, and that was super, super nice. So alright, well, I'm gonna sign off, and I will see y'all another time. Bye.